For those of you that don't know, I'm Maggie, and today we are going to do a little bit of a declutter. And the motivation behind this, and why you're probably going to see many more of these in 2020, is because I'm getting married in June, and getting married means that I have to move apartments. And with that, I want to move as few things as humanly possible. So I don't have a real order or rhyme or reason to how I'm cleaning out anything. Each day when I come home from work, I'm just like, what do I want to tackle now? And while I'm motivated to do it and not too tired, I just figure, why not knock it out? So there may be some edits throughout the year, like I may get rid of more things. Some things may be added as I need to buy certain things, but on the whole, the goal is to get rid of things and not add to the collection. So today we're going to work on the drawer that holds absolutely everything that I use daily. So like toothpaste, hairbrushes, ponytail holders, clips, and bobby pins of all types, deodorant, headbands, and way too many eyeshadow palettes. Let's dive into this drawer and see how much I can get rid of. Now, I have no idea how cutthroat this declutter is about to be, but whatever goes will go, and it'll be an improvement over what I have in this drawer right now. So let's dive in. Here is the state of affairs that we're working with right now. Clearly nothing is organized. I just have eyeshadow palettes kind of shoved back here. I have lip products in this other little container. So everything is in its own spot. It just doesn't really feel easily accessible. I have way too many deodorants living in here. So it's just time to kind of get things a little bit more organized and get rid of the things that have been floating around in here for years that it's just really time for them to say goodbye. Let's get started. I'm probably going to start with this guy. Starting with the things on the top, I always use these stretchy headbands to hold my head back when I actually am washing my face. So I'm going to add this to a keep pile over here. Toothpaste, obviously a necessity. Gonna go ahead and keep that. These scissors. I always keep a pair of scissors in my bathroom and in my bedside table to cut off tags or to trim down wicks that I have on candles that are in my bathroom or something. So these I definitely want to keep in the bathroom. And that's just a tip for you. In case you don't already have scissors in your bathroom, they're super helpful. Eye makeup remover. I use this every once in a while, so I think it needs to stay in the bathroom and still be used. But I think I'm gonna move it to the organizer where I keep all the rest of my makeup and toners and things like that, so this can be moved out of the drawer officially. This deodorant is my favorite deodorant of all time, the Schmidt's Lavender and Sage, so this I definitely want to keep in here. These two deodorants, on the other hand, this one does not make me smell good when I'm actually going to sweat and kind of just, I don't know, move around throughout the day. This one actually does okay. So I've just learned my lesson with this. I need to just stick with the regular Schmidt's deodorants. So this I'm going to put in a giveaway pile, which is going to be over this way, out of sight for a little while. This one I'm actually going to keep in my drawer because, again, I can use this one just fine on days when I'm not working out or anything. It's actually pretty good. I recently talked about scrunchies in my yearly favorites. These are perfect to put your hair up in a ponytail at night without getting a crease in your hair. So this I definitely want to keep with that headband that's back there because I always use this when I'm going to sleep at night. I'm an everyday contact wearer, so this definitely has to stay. This no more baggage, needles no more, whatever, Dr. Brandt eye cream. I never really got excited about this, and I don't really feel like using it, so I think this is gonna also go in that giveaway pile with the deodorant that doesn't work for me. I'm about to see a lot of my friends, so maybe some of them will want this? Who knows? This is an ancient contraption that I got probably off of an infomercial years ago, or my mom got. This is the finishing touch. It kind of removes unwanted hairs from the face. It works really well. It just needs a battery replacement because I don't think that this battery has been replaced since like '04 when we bought this. And then we're left with this disaster. So what I think I'm gonna do is go into my closet over here and pull out some sort of bag to keep all of this organized to where I can reach in and grab a ponytail holder when I need it, but it's not all just floating around taking up space in the bottom. Floss, I can take that out because everything else is hair related. I found all of these ponytail holders at the back of the drawer. So I just want you to see how many ponytail holders I have and why this is unnecessary. I noticed that I have a ton of bobby pins floating around, and I actually keep a magnetic Z palette that I never had eyeshadows for as my bobby pin keeper holder, which is pretty helpful since it's magnetic. So let me grab a bag and we'll organize this first. Maybe clean it out because as you can see, it's kind of nasty around the edges. Ponytail holders are all in this little bag. And now I'm left at the bottom with these clips that I use daily when I curl my hair to keep it sectioned off. So I actually want to keep these loose I also found a pair of tweezers, and this can also live in that makeup organizer thing. I think I'm gonna store these in the makeup organizer thing as well. And also, this is the junk I'm talking about. I don't even have my Sonicare toothbrush anymore, and these are toothbrush head covers for the Sonicare, so these can obviously go. Here's the little magnetic thing that I used to hold all of the bobby pins, as you can see. So I'm gonna take some time to just throw all of the excess bobby pins onto this. So now I'm just gonna take one of these little method wipes and just wipe down the inside of this nasty container. I've had this with me since college. I used to always just keep all of my bathroom toiletries in this, and it came with a little top, so it was easy for me to travel to and from college with, and then also put in the drawer of the dorms or the sorority house or wherever I was living at the time. I just hung on to this because it really was the perfect size, and it just made things really easy to pack and portable without having to transfer them to different bags and everything when I was driving all the time. Now that I fly, something like this would never fly. All right, looking way better. Wow, I can actually see through it now. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to put everything back in an organized fashion. Starting with the bigger things that make sense, we're just gonna play around with the placement here. Wow, this already looks so much better than before. And then I think this is just gonna probably sit somewhere in my drawer for easy access. Because it is so thin, I don't anticipate it taking up a whole lot of extra space. So this definitely makes things that I access all the time a lot easier to grab. Now we're gonna dive into the rest of the drawer and see if maybe things could be added to this. So I'm just gonna push this to the side for now. This is the top that goes with that container, and I'm gonna clean this later. This definitely does not get used, so I'm kind of debating throwing it away, but I feel like I would regret that later. So I think I'm just gonna end up putting this kind of where I keep all of my travel bags and everything that aren't accessed all the time. And here are all of the random things that are just floating around in the drawer. And these came on that big makeup organizer thing that I've been referencing throughout the video. These kind of help the joints of the different shelves stay in place, and I feel like this is something that needs to live in my toolbox. Next up are my really nasty hair brushes that I need to clean out, so you're gonna look at them from behind. I use the wet brush here probably most often. It just glides through the hair so nice when it's wet, but then I also kind of have this dual like coarse hairbrush thing that I also like a lot. So these two brushes need to stay, so I just need to create more room for them in the drawer or store them in a better way. Contact solution is a must. I always buy this at Costco, so it's always in the massive size, and it's one of those things I just have to make room for, so there's no real compromise here. So this is just gonna have to keep taking up a ton of room. This David's Natural toothpaste. I made the mistake of opening this while I already had another toothpaste open, so I think I'm gonna add this to that container we just cleaned out and just commit to using it. This is an adventure band, actually, from the Bucketlist family. I've always stored these together with that other like pink headband that I showed you earlier, but I think that since I always travel with one, I'm just gonna keep this one in my travel bag, and then that frees up space in my everyday drawer. And last but not least, this little Tangle Teezer. This is something that I think I'm gonna designate as my travel brush. It's so small, it fits into different places, and then that prevents me from like messing up the big brushes. So this too is going to live in that little travel case that I bring every time I hit the road. I also have this clear case, and this actually goes to my tongue scraper, and I keep this around for, again, when I travel, which is usually once a week. Like, I'm on the road a lot, so I'm gonna also keep this in my travel bag too, and then that just frees up so much space in my everyday drawer. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. So of that pile of things, these are the three that are left to float around on their own, and then I did add that toothpaste to the box. So let's go ahead and keep decluttering. We'll clean out the drawer, and then we'll put it all back in. Yep. We're even going straight into the makeup bag. Now I keep my makeup in this all the time. Again, this is a leftover habit from college, which I should probably break since I've been out of college now for like 5 years. But there are things that I keep in here that I absolutely never touch that I need to get rid of. I don't know why I'm holding on to it. And I'm just gonna create a quick keep and get rid of pile. I'm keeping, oh no! Keep Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Keep this Found Baked Blush. Keep the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, one of my favorite mascaras ever. Keep the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer. Keep this e.l.f. blush that I've clearly loved. Keep this CoverGirl True Blend blush, True Blend, I cannot say the name of this. This CoverGirl True Blend blush that I've already kind of gotten close to the end of. This Ofra highlight is one of those things I've been hanging on to for ages. I am never going to use a highlight this bright. I was always keeping it because I was like, oh, that's a beautiful eyeshadow. It will take me, I don't know, a century to go through this as an eyeshadow. So since I'm honestly not giving it any use, I think that it's time for it to go. Keep this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I'm clearly almost out of it, so I should probably get a new one. Keep this Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. And this Milk Makeup eyeshadow actually makes me feel a little bit better about finally getting rid of that Ofra product, because these are essentially the exact same color when you put them on the eye. So we're good. I feel better about it. I'm gonna keep this Flower Beauty Cream Blush. This one I actually don't use all that much. I feel like it has a little bit of trouble showing up on my skin. So I want to try just using it with my fingers and not a sponge, because I feel like the sponge shears it out too much. But I am going to keep this. This has sentimental value to me because my little brother got it for me in this game that we always play on Christmas Eve. I just feel like I can't bring myself to get rid of it. And yes, holding on to sentimental things is not always the best, but I'm going to, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm keeping this Laura Mercier kind of like candlelight glow powder that I talked about recently. It is so good. I love both of these color tattoos. Again, this is also the same color as that Ofra shadow, so again, even more reason not to be sad about it. This Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, because I'm almost out of that Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, I'm gonna keep this. But honestly, I was thinking about getting rid of it. It's just such a thick concealer formula, and it was truly never my favorite, but since I have it, I might as well not spend the additional money and get a concealer when this one is perfectly fine. So I am gonna keep this. This little trial size mascara, I've actually had it open for over a year, so I'm gonna get rid of that for sure. The RMS Beauty Living Luminizer, I love this stuff. Definitely gonna keep it. Another really good blush. This is the Burt's Bees blush, and it's in this like super neutrally color, but oh, it looks so good. I love it. This is a Makeup Geek blush that I got a long time ago in a BoxyCharm or something, and this color just really doesn't work for me. It's a little bit too bright and it's super pigmented and I just don't really know how to control it. So this I'm gonna get rid of as well. This Bare Minerals Loose Pigment Blush, I have to be honest with myself and that I'm just never going to use this. It's a really, really pretty color, but it's just too hard to control. It's too messy. I'll never travel with it. I just don't really like these loose powder products. This is a really pretty Charlotte Tilbury like eye crayon, but again, I just never use these. I don't feel like they comfortably go onto my eyes, and this one is super duper glittery, so I'm going to pass this on. Same with this Thrive Cosmetics little eye pencil thing. I just never reach for it, never use it. My Maybelline Ultra Slim Brow Pencil is a definite keep. This Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, I misspoke earlier. I don't like the loose blush, but I actually do really like this. It's kind of a highlighty powder, and it's really pretty. So I am going to keep that actually. I truthfully don't use eyeshadow primers all the time. I do in the summer though. So in the winter, my eyelids are fine. They're not as greasy. So I definitely need to hang on to this for what's hopefully going to be some warm months coming soon. And last but not least, this Physicians Formula cream bronzer that I absolutely love. So I'm definitely keeping that. So I'm not getting rid of a ton, but it is time to finally wipe down this bag and kind of start fresh. Now it's time to move on to the million different eyeshadow palettes that have been living in here. First up, this Ish lip palette. I've definitely gotten some use out of it. I think that it's really pretty. The brush kind of grosses me out a little bit. I've really liked it for a long time. In fact, I mentioned it in that like FabFitFun roundup as one of the products that I was really excited about. And I do like it. It's just not practical. Like you put it on at the beginning of the day and I'm not going to carry this around with me. So I'm never going to be able to reapply the same color. I don't know. So this is going to go. This is the easiest keep ever. This is the original Too Faced Naturalize. It just has the best neutrals of all time. I use every single color in this palette. This is the most used palette I have. This is probably the one that I travel with the most too because it's just such a great standby. You can't go wrong. So love it, keeping it. Same with this incredibly dusty Naked palette. I actually use this a lot for how dusty it is. Again, it's just a perfect neutral palette. And now that this is not made anymore, it's just even more incentive to keep it and love it. This is one that I feel like I need to get rid of. These were just random single shadows that I got in BoxyCharm when I used to get that regularly. And I feel like I really, really liked this color a lot. I liked this kind of purpley color and this gold, but nothing else has really been touched. It's just kind of dusty and it doesn't get used. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. This is another really easy keep for me. It just is this really pigmented, small, perfect travel palette that we got in a FabFitFun. I really, really love this. I use all of the colors. It gives you something a little bit different to travel with. I really love this. These shadows are so good. This highlight and contour palette, I used this shade all the way up when I used to set my under eyes all the time. I would even travel with this thing, but I've stopped setting my under eyes because I felt like it made me look old and crepey and wrinkly. So I'm gonna get rid of this. And I'm not much of a contour girl. Just really don't do it. Don't know how to do it, so this is gonna go. This e.l.f. palette is one that also gets traveled with all the time because it's so easy. I don't have to pack separate blushes, highlighters, or bronzer. I just pack this one thing and it's done. So this is what I'm definitely hanging on to because it is just such a great little travel companion. This Tarte palette was like the very first palette that I bought right after I started watching makeup videos on YouTube. And you can see I really liked this shadow and this shadow that I used a lot. These got an okay amount of use. I really didn't love this blush a whole lot. The highlighter's a little bit too icy and the bronzer doesn't really show up on me. So because I got this legitimately 4 years ago, I think it's finally time to get rid of it. And it makes me sad because it's a good memory, but I just don't use it. Okay, now things are getting a little bit harder. So I have this additional neutrals palette that I got in a BoxyCharm again. This one really is so good. I've really enjoyed this one and the companion palette that I have over there that's a different kind of color. Like this is the neutrals one and that one's more cool tone kind of plummy colors. So I think I am going to keep this. Even though I have other neutral palettes that I'm keeping, this is that kind of cooler toned plummy one that I was talking about, and this is a definite keep because I don't have anything that looks like this. This is kind of the wildest palette that I have. Okay, actually, I revised my statement. After thinking about it for a second, I'm going to keep the cool toned one and I think I'm going to get rid of this neutral one because I definitely have all of these colors in those other neutral palettes that I'm keeping. This one is one of those that I got because, well, it wasn't even my birthday, but it was a birthday present from Ulta. And they randomly sent me an email in October of one year and my birthday's in February, and so I somehow ended up with this. And I like it. I've clearly used this shade and this shade. I actually used this palette today on my eyes and it's plenty fine. It's just nothing I get excited about. And if it was for free and I'm not excited about it and I could live without it, I think it needs to go. And last but not least, this OG Wet n Wild, like, what's it called? Comfort Zone palette. I really like this thing, and I still think that it's kind of adventurous for what I have. I have this rose gold shade here that's kind of fun, this silvery shade. These are really dark and good, so I think I'm going to keep this too. I'm pretty proud of these results. I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that includes the bobby pin palette. So I kept 50%, and I think that's a pretty good thing. So I definitely have more room in my drawer now, and I've got to figure out what to do with these. Last but not least is this little lipstick / loose match drawer. Now I'm definitely going to keep all of these matches. I love keeping cute little matchbooks. So this is going to stay. This is going to stay perfect for lighting a candle in the bathroom. This first one is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick that's really pretty for this time of year. So I think I'm definitely going to keep this. It's called Walk of Shame. This is the one that I'm actually wearing in the video today. This is the Maybelline Color Blur, and this one's in the shade 50 I Like to Mauve It. And I really like this. It's super easy and comfortable to put on the lips. It stays on for a pretty long time, so this one's a definite keep. And I'm also going to keep the red version of this Maybelline shade. This is my favorite Bare Minerals liquid lipstick that's kind of matte. And this is in the shade Swag. I actually have 2 of these. One lives in my purse and one lives in my bathroom, and I'm not getting rid of it. It's great. This is one of those samples from Bite Beauty, and this is just a perfect neutral shade. This came in a birthday present, and this is in Chai. This is the Marc Jacobs lipstick in the shade Slow Burn, and this is really my perfect neutral. It's so creamy. Probably the most luxurious lipstick I own, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Oh, and I somehow ended up with 2 of them. This is one that I'm going to get rid of because I never, ever use lip liner. So this can go, and I think I've had this for years. This little Tartest liquid lipstick, this stuff dries out my lips so much. And while it's a really good color, it's not comfortable, so it's going. Another Marc Jacobs lipstick that's in a brighter color called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And this actually looks really good in the summer months, so this is one that I'm gonna keep for sure. I really hate lip balm with SPF in it. It ends up drying out my lips so bad. My lips don't react well to it. So these I'm gonna get rid of or offer to Brian or something because he doesn't really mind them. So these are gonna go. This was the first Bite Beauty lipstick I ever owned, and it's in the shade Honeycomb, so keeping that. And this is one of those Bite Beauty lip pencils. It's also kind of in a darker fall shade, but it's super neutral and I wear it. You can clearly see it's gotten some good use by the way that it's worn down. This one I'm keeping. I really adore this Buxom lip gloss. It's in the shade White Russian, and it's super light, but it just feels so good on the lips. It just makes them look healthy. This is a gloss that I can actually tolerate because it's not super duper sticky. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. I need to try this out again. I don't remember being the biggest fan of it. Now I get these weird thing on my lips that I figured out are not cold sores because Abreva does nothing for it. When I get super dehydrated and in the winter months when things are really dry, the corners of my lips split and I was always treating them like cold sores and it was continually drying them out. So I need to get rid of this, plus it's super duper old. So here's a little view about what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. Now obviously this pile is a lot bigger, but I really like this stuff. There's no need to get rid of it if it's getting use. So this is the stuff I absolutely never touch and will move on to a new home or get thrown away because it's ancient. Now that everything's decluttered and I've wiped out this drawer, it's time to start fresh. So I'm going to put everything back in the drawer in a pretty similar fashion to how I had it, just because that was really functional to me. However, I have a lot of room in here now. So let's see if we can spice things up a little bit. I am shocked at this right now. It has not been this cleaned out in so long. This is a super productive evening. This looks so good. Okay, so when I was filming me putting all of this back in, I completely forgot that this makeup bag right here was drying after I wiped it out. So here's the after. It's still so much neater. It's still so much more organized. I just shifted this contact solution up here and then moved my makeup bag over. And then I stacked my hairbrushes a little bit more efficiently and stuck this to where it can kind of lean back in the drawer. But I still have easy access to everything in the back. It's not super clogged up. It's easy to reach. Yeah, sorry about that little mishap. Now we're actually done and everything is organized properly. It feels really good to be rid of things. So hopefully this declutter was helpful or maybe even inspirational to you if you just feel like you're living in a whole lot of clutter. You don't even have to be moving to want to get rid of things. And I feel like starting a new year is always a good time to start fresh. So if you like this declutter video, I have some others that I've done in the past. But like I said earlier, I have a lot of cleaning out to do as we have wedding presents coming in and I have to make space for new things. So if you like this video, then like it, stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.